It's time for another one of my quickies today. I want to talk about Nathan Thompson. But let me tell you, Nathan Oakley watched a little bit of yesterday's video. He did not have a clue, and he's still spouting the same old rhetoric that he had been. You can check out my yesterday's video to see his comment. Do that especially if you need a good laugh. In today's short, we are checking in on the infamous prank-prone Nathan Thompson. He is the man we talked about most in the cults video. He has a lot of the same old flat earth stuff with added Bible literalist stuff. And you may have seen, it was all over YouTube, he was the guy pranked by two known YouTube pranksters. He was called at the time, this was going on, by 4 friends to warn him that it was a prank. In spite of that, in spite of the fact that none of the itinerary being followed, 2 guys showed up in duck costumes, and the Guinness reps that were supposed to check what they were doing showed up with a misspelled certificate. He still told his friends that called it was difficult to see the prank when you're in the middle of it. In his last debate, Nathan said that he does not claim a map the size of the flat earth, a model, a dome, or an ice wall. He doesn't talk about the star trails. So if you ask any of that stuff in a debate or whatever, it's straw man, because he doesn't claim any of that stuff. So he has rebounded from his prank now, and he says that they pranked the flat earth. It wasn't him, it was the flat earth they pranked. So he's suddenly posting 2 or 3 videos every day. So I want to address a little bit of this. There's no way I can cover even close to all of it. He seems to feel that everything from science is a lie, especially NASA. He has a recent video that's, why would they lie to you? So let me tell you a few things I'll cover later on. First, NASA astronauts see stars sometimes and not other times. He says this is a lie because you should see them all the time. If he bothered to check, which flat earthers never do, he would find the ISS astronauts see stars when they're on the dark side of the Earth. They'll see stars because the Earth is not bright. The lunar astronauts never saw stars because they were on the daylit side of the moon the whole time they were there, and daylight side of the moon, there's no stars. It's just like daylight on the Earth. Do you see stars during the day on the Earth? And just added here, the moon sky is always black because it has no atmosphere to scatter the light. But let me assure you that NASA cannot be lying about everything. It has been 60 years since NASA started filming a fake movie about the moon landing would take an army of people. Check out any movie that comes out lately. They just have pages and pages and pages of people that are involved. You have to have camera people, lighting, set, sound, film editing. Can you imagine in '59 what film editing was like? Each one of these have to have maintained the lie all these years for 60 years. Flat Earthers claim that only a few of the upper executives had to be in on the secret, which is ridiculous. The lunar flights were all monitored by hundreds, if not thousands, of people. If you've ever seen those video rooms, they have, 50 or 100 people sitting shoulder to shoulder watching monitors. Each one of those are monitoring a different aspect of the flight, whether it's the communications or whatever. The Australian Space Agency was tasked as the backup for monitoring. So in Australia, they had similar rooms, they had similar equipment to monitor the flight. And of course, you know that the Soviet Space Agency was watching carefully. And more about these things later. NASA currently has about 16,000 employees and about 60,000 contractor employees. So there's at least like 100,000 people that have to keep a secret for 60 years without one slip up or one deathbed confession or whatever. And you, Nathan, have cornered NASA employees in parking lots and in stores and screamed at them and hounded them and harassed them over, tell me the lie, you know the lie, tell me the lie. Well, why would that employee know anything about it if only a few of the upper crust were in on the secret, ignoring your own rhetoric? So, you remember it was in the news, one lady and one president knew about an Oval Office blowjob. That secret that two people knew lasted just a few months until every person in the world knew about it. So think about those things when you're trying to debunk the entire government agency. I was going to cover a lot more things, but I wanted to keep this short, so we'll save it for a debate for later on, and I hope you enjoyed this quick video about Nathan, the prankster, Thompson.